Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so Priya Sakhi Devidasi is, what's the child's name? Ramachandra.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Radha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Radha. Hari Bol.
Sorry, I missed some classes because I was shifting
Oh, where did you move to?
to Texas.
Wow. Where in Texas?
Dallas.
Yes.
Hari Bol.
Wow, his dad told me that they are going to move Dallas.
Very nice. So you're near to Radha Kalachandji.
And today I went to go to TKT for a tour.
Oh. Oh, you're near to the temple?
Yes, 4 minutes.
Oh. Sorry?
And next year I'm going to go to TKT.
Okay, awesome. So which grade would you be next year?
4th grade.
Okay, very nice. That's awesome. So did you meet Arav?
Arav?
Arav is also one of our one Mataji in Bhakti Sangha. Her son is named Arav, and he is also in TKG.
Okay, which grade?
I guess he should be 4th grade. I'm not sure, 4th or 5th grade. I can find out and tell you.
Okay.
Very nice. Then we have Vishnu. Okay, Kavya. Yeah, Kavya and Vishnu, right? So everybody is busy with your exams? End of the year, almost?
Kind of.
Kind of, huh? Excited?
It's not because of school, it's because of like outer programs. Like
Badaji,
one more
Yes.
month left.
Jadvi told me that she's gonna go to Dallas and she's gonna go to Gurukul. The same as like Radhika.
Very,
Yeah, Radha, not Radhika.
that's nice.
She's gonna go to Gurukul, the same one.
That's good. That's nice, right? Hi, Krishna Mukund. Mukund has already entered into the celebration of what is coming up next.
Just behind me, always.
So this weekend we had Mother Day celebration.
On Sunday on Saturday we have Narsimha Chaturdasi. Then on Sunday we have a Snana Yatra.
Oh, is it? Snan Yatra in, you are in which place, Kavya?
Baltimore.
Baltimore, okay. So
Yeah, it's
Radha,
from Baltimore. Has on this Sunday, coming up Sunday.
Rath Yatra. Yeah, this Saturday was in Texas, in Dallas, right, Radha? Snan Yatra?
Actually, yesterday, I think. Yeah, yesterday.
Sunday, okay. Awesome, good
And
job.
on the 21st, it's Rath Yatra.
Rath Yatra. It's wonderful. You are on Rath Yatra time, you are in Dallas. It's just wonderful. It's a beautiful experience.
Something very annoying that happened is that a lot of times on the Rath Yatra day there's rain.
You know what in Dallas has happened is 2 years consecutively, I guess. Yes. It was the first year when they decided that the Rath Yatra would be taking place away from the temple. And the both years, the weather was pretty good before that. And right on the Rath Yatra day, just a day or so before, it got so cold that in Texas, in the month of April, I guess, in the month of April, we had to be in gloves. In Texas, yeah, it is not that cold, but then it was so chilling cold, it was unbearable cold.
Mataji, you don't know what it's like in ISKCON Baltimore. Practically every Rath Yatra we have rain.
Is it?
Yeah, but last year there was rain, but not on.
Mataji, I went on that day over there. I was a baby. I had to wear my hoodie and everything. I went there. Whatever you
Yes.
said, I went over there. I was in that story.
Mataji, which place do you live?
Now I'm in India, but when we were in Texas, in Dallas, it was like that for the 2 years. And it was really very cold.
Mataji, which place in India?
Pune.
What?
Could it be night
Early morning.
or like early morning? It's morning. It's early morning for them. How do you?
Early morning. So Ramachandra, when it Haribol?
Mataji?
So Ramachandra, when it rains, is it really heavy rains or just showers?
It's not heavy rain. It's like normal rain that we have, like practically like, you know, like how in April, like there's like rains, like that type of rain. But one time there was a thunderstorm.
Oh. We'll pray.
Mataji,
Yes, Mukund?
the last time we had gone to Atlantic City Rath Yatra. Atlantic City is like right off the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. So over there, and actually the Rath Yatra is also like on the roads, it's on the boardwalk right near the coast. And over there, last time or one time, there was actually heavy rain. There was so heavy rain. There was just a few devotees to pull the Rath Yatra. To pull the Rath, and everyone was just inside shelters. And also the whole entire shelters were just crowded. And the rain was like continuously just falling down. It was like a thunderstorm.
Yeah. See, no doubt how much precautions we take, or no doubt, what months we decide that we'll try to have the Rath Yatra or we'll try to have the festivities. It all depends upon what the Lord wishes, right? If the Lord wishes that he needs rain, he'll have rains. If the Lord wishes that he needs to have thunderstorms, it will be like that. So like imagine we were quite surprised when we were in Dallas, because Dallas in the month of December, January also, it does not get that cold. Like it's cold, but not that cold. But we couldn't imagine that in the month of April, it could get so cold that we had to wear gloves and the whole jackets and the hoodies, but still we did have the Rath Yatra.
Mataji, also in Atlantic City, every time it's 100% that it's going to rain. At least a small shower.
Yes, at least a small shower, right? Just like Janmashtami.
And also,
yes,
and
go
then
ahead.
in Atlantic City, it rains a lot, and then in Harrisburg, it got up till like 40 degrees Celsius, no, like 40 to 43 or something. And it was so hot that everyone was making artificial rain. So everyone brought cold water, like lots of cold water. They put it in the spray cans and they were spraying it on everyone.
Yes, right. I remember in Michigan that happens when it's in July. So these are the experiences, right? When each year we have different experiences. I remember on Janmashtami Day in India, Janmashtami Day, it has to rain. It's a compulsory thing, and it does rain on Janmashtami. It does fall in those months as well, but anyway, somehow or the other on Janmashtami Day, it does rain every time, every year. Okay.
Yeah, same for us. It always rains on Janmashtami.
I think it's like Chaturmas. I think the Chaturmas.
Yes.
So that's
Around-
and I've heard in the Chaturmas it always rains.
Yes, it always rains. But
It has to rain.
Mataji?
Okay, let's come back to our class now. Yes?
Okay. No, I'll say it later, Mataji. It's long.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to say that about the Atlantic City Rath Yatra rain, that there's a story that some Indian, they wanted a fire sacrifice to happen in their house, and they asked the devotees. The devotee says, yes, we can do Nam Sankirtan sacrifice. Then he said, no, I want fire sacrifice. Then they did it, and then after that, there was smoke in the house, and then because of the smoke alarms came out. And because of the fire, the sprinkler started sprinkling water, and in the end, the person who wanted the fire sacrifice to happen, he said, "You all made my whole house wet and flooded." Then one devotee said that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that after every successful sacrifice there is a rain. So it's just like that for Rath Yatra.
Right. Okay, so we'll start with our prayers. Everyone together.
Mataji, I just wanted to tell you something. Last year, my birthday was on Janmashtami.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, so nice. Let's see when it is this year, okay?
Mataji, it's not this year. My calendar is.
Okay.
My birthday.
Very nice. Okay, we'll start with our prayers, everyone together. Om Agyanatimirandasya Jnananjana
Chakshuranyena
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Swami
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Rama Rama
Okay, so now what are we going to do is, as we are having like Narashima Chaturdashi this coming Saturday, we are going to celebrate this week as Narashima Chaturdashi celebration week. Okay, so we'll have different things too on different days so that we can know more about Lord Narasimha and we can worship him, or we can observe Narashima Chaturdashi with more faith and like with more austerity as much as possible for our age. Okay, so today what we will do is we'll start with, okay, everybody together, can we say it, or let me say it 1 second. Okay, Balavrinda, Radha, Advait, Diti and Mukund. Can we say the can we recite this verse?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Gram Viram
Bhadram Mrityum Namaham
Very good. Then Isha, Kavya, Khushi, Mokshit, Samskriti, can you recite this verse?
Yes, Mataji.
Ukram Mahavishnu
Very good.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Ramachandra, then Raghav, Shreyan, Suraj, and iPhone. Can you recite this verse?
Yes, Mataji.
Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narsimham Vishanam Badram
Mrityam Namamyaham.
Very good. Ramachandra, can you read the translation, please?
Sure, Mataji. I bow down to Lord Narsimha, who is ferocious and heroic like Lord Vishnu. He is burning from every side. He is terrific, auspicious, and the death of the death person.
Very good. Radha, can you read the translation?
I bow down to Lord Narasimha, who is ferocious and heroic like Lord Vishnu. He is burning from every side. He is terrific, auspicious, and the death of death personified.
Okay. So these are the translations for the word-to-word translation. So what I'll do is, again, we will have just like what we do it on a Friday. Here and just on the Friday thing, how many of you wrote a letter to your mom and to Radharani? Could you write a letter on Friday, what we had said?
Mataji, I was not there in the class. Mataji, can I show mine?
Yeah, at the end of the class, I'll ask, okay?
Mataji, this is Balavinda. I did a lot of them. I did a big card.
Very nice.
Mataji, instead, I gave her a candy.
Okay. Mukund, were you there on Friday?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So what we'll do is now we'll do the word-to-word translation over here, okay? So I will ask any of the words and then we'll see which the translation, if we can find the translations, okay? Bhishanam.
The terrific.
Everyone, is everyone on the same page?
Terrific.
Yeah, I'm reading out the translations and sorry, I'm reading out the Sanskrit words and you tell me the translations of this, okay? Veeram.
The most courageous.
The most courageous. Is everyone paying attention, or else I'll have to tell you compulsory come on video.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Bhadram.
Auspicious.
Jwalantam.
The
Effulgence of fire.
Ugram.
The ferocious one.
Ferocious one.
Yes, somebody is calling out me for.
Mataji, this is Ansh. My computer battery just died, so I just joined from a new computer. I just missed a lot.
Okay, no worries. So what we're doing is we're doing the translations of the we're doing the meanings of the words, okay? So I'll read out the Sanskrit words and you can tell me the translations. Mrityur Mrityum.
Death of death.
Yes. Mahavishnu.
The all-pervasive one. Lord Mahavishnu.
Sarvatomukham.
Having his
face everywhere, manifested throughout the universe.
Having
Namamyaham.
I bow down and revere.
Ugram.
I bow down.
Ferocious one.
Okay, so I bow down to Lord Narasimha, who is ferocious and heroic, like Lord Vishnu. He is burning from every side. He is terrific, auspicious, and the death of death personified. Okay, so this is what our translation and the meanings of the verse look like. Now, what we are going to do today is we're just going to look at a brief history of how Lord Narasimha comes to Mayapur. Okay, many of you must have read it. So, but see, like last year, I think we read the Canto 7th, Chapter 8. Okay, Chapter 8, Chapter 9, we started reading. So today what we will do is we will just see how did Lord Narasimha arrive in Mayapur.
Aditi, can I say one thing really quick?
Yes, Mukul.
There's one RG Media link. There's one RG Media video, and they did a play on Narsimhadev coming in Mayapur.
Very nice. So
Aditi, I have the picture.
I'll share the link.
I have a picture of Mayapur at my house.
yes, very nice.
It has a golden picture frame.
Yeah.
Mataji,
Yes.
The story of Narasimha comes to Mayapur.
Yeah, we're going to read out the story. Okay, we're going to have it in the. Let us read through it, and then we'll understand that. You know what, Mukund? We have many things that we can do in our Bhakti Sangha classes also, just like this play. But then what happens is, like how when we started reading the Back to Godhead, I asked you all that you can share. See, whenever we are doing some activity, this is for everyone. Okay, I'm just going to stop share for a minute. If everybody can come on video so that I can at least feel that I'm talking to everyone. See, I know these are all voluntary classes. Everybody is taking it voluntary. But when we are taking these classes, all the teachers are really putting it a lot of effort into it. Okay. Now, did you ever wonder why did the cooking class end? On Tuesdays, we had a cooking class, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then now we're not having this cooking class. Do you know why it happened?
No, I don't.
Mataji, can I say Mataji? Because everybody's not posting their cooking and they're not cooking because the teacher is working very hard to cook and the children are not making it. That's why it's not posting it.
It happens that all these activities are just taken for granted. And nobody likes when they are taken for granted. Because see, when a class is to be taken, when it is a cooking or when it is anything, the Matajis really take a lot of effort, arrange it so that you all can learn something, right? When we took, like for each and every activity, when I take up the Back to Godhead, it's a simple thing that whenever you're reading something, at least try to understand what you see when you're in your school, when you have a reading. When you do a reading, then you have a star test over it, or you then have a question answer session over it, or a comprehension for that matter. When you read a passage and then there are questions answered over that, right? Everyone agrees to it? So the same way, when you're reading Back to Godhead, the one thing which I had told you was that at least whatever you understood from it, you could just, this is how your preaching will start. But then, no, like sometimes Mukund used to send it, and then Tulsi Manjari was there. Ojasvi did it once or twice, but then others did not participate into that. So that happened with Back to Godhead. With cooking, Mataji had already posted all the ingredients a day ahead, but none of them were bothered to get the ingredients, or none of them were bothered to do along with Mataji. Or forget about do along, but afterwards making it and then posting it. That was not done. Craft, Mataji has to sit with you in the class and she has to do it along with you. Only then a craft is done. So this makes a lot of disappointment that whatever efforts the Matajis are putting is not being fruitified anywhere. Same thing with the Friday class, right? And it was nothing that was a personal thing which I had told you. I told you it is Mother's Day. Make a card for Radharani. Write what you feel like her. Like like telling her, you shouldn't. It is not a problem if you do not share the content, but at least like, yes, Mataji, we made this. So if there is no reciprocation, then it gets hard for everyone to continue.
Mataji, can I say something?
Yes.
I tried to make the card, but I was so busy that I couldn't.
Yeah. See, this is what, you know what? Everybody is busy. Everybody is not busy and everybody is busy at the same time. It just is about how priority you give for what things you're doing, right? When we know we have to play, then our playing is our priority, right? Then we do go to play. We do not listen to anyone. Yes, I have to play. So your spiritual life will not be based only on your, time. It will be how much you're giving it importance and how much you're giving it a priority.
Mataji, could I tell something really quick?
If it's quick, Shreyan, okay? Because we'll have to continue with this.
I made many gifts. I made about 6 cards for Radharani. But there's only 1 or 2 of them which had writing. The other ones were just pictures.
That's okay. You could share it in the group, right? When you make it an effort to just take a screenshot and share it in the group. And why does this sharing do? What does this sharing do? This sharing helps to motivate others that yes, I also have to do it. And in our Krishna consciousness, why are we spreading it everywhere? So that everybody else gets in that mercy of the Lord, right? everybody makes an attempt to do something. So this is nowhere that you are trying to boost yourself, or nowhere trying to tell that, yes, I did this, I did this. It is just how much efforts we are taking to please the Lord. Okay. Now quickly we'll go with our story so that we do not waste our time. Okay. Now, how did Lord Narasimha come to Mayapur? Why was it decided that Lord Narasimha should be installed in Mayapur, or Lord Narasimha should be invited to Mayapur? Now,
I already know the reason, because a bunch of people came to attack and with bombs, and like somebody came at senior, and then they said that the only way we can get saved is by installing Narsimhadev.
Yeah, so Lord Narasimha.
So Mataji was specifically Ugra Narasimha. Yes, so that they get scared, because Ugra Narasimha is the angry one.
Yeah, we'll go step by step so that everybody who is new to this can understand. Okay, so on March 24, to be more precise, on March 24, 1984. Okay, 1984, it happened that there were several dacoits or several bad people who came to the mandir, the Mayapur Dham Mandir, and they tried to steal things. Okay, they tried to damage things, steal things. They had guns with them. They did a lot of nasty things over there. And on top of that, on the top, the worst come worst, what they did was they tried to steal the deities of Srimati Radharani. Okay. Now all the devotees who were there, yes, Srila Prabhupada and Srimati Radharani. Okay. So all the devotees who were there, they tried to fight it out. Many of them were injured in that process. And this was an incident which was really very hard for everyone, because it was not the first time that they had been attacked, and several times they were being attacked. Now something had to be done in order to face these things. Okay. So that, and see, a devotee, when they trust the Lord, when they believe the Lord, everything is entitled to the Lord, right? So what they decided was that to deal with this harassment, to deal with this thing, Lord Narasimha, who is the protector, who protects his devotees, should be they present in Mayapur. Okay. Now, when he should be present in Mayapur, so that means Lord Narasimha's should be installed in Mayapur. This was what it was decided. Okay. That whenever the dacoits come, or if there's anything in future, there should be someone who is protecting us. Now then they said that Shri Lakshmi Narasimha should be installed. But then at the same time, they felt that, like there should be something which should scare these people away. A Ugra form of the Lord should be installed. Now when an Ugra form is to be installed, its worship is also very, very, instead of saying hard, it has to be done in a proper way. Okay, you cannot just do it haphazardly. It has to be done in a proper regulated way. So see, I'll just read this out to you so that it becomes more clear. Okay, according to the scriptural rules, Lord Narsimha Deva's pujari or priest must have been a celibate from life, and that's a brahmachari and who's not married, and the worshipper must be strict and regulated. Who would be prepared to worship him, to follow all these regulative principles and to follow all this? Who can be there? So they had this question which was coming up. Then, who is this?
Pankajangre Das Prabhuji.
Yeah. He agreed to worship him. Okay. Now, so as they found that who's going to worship, the next step was how to get the deity form. Okay. So Radhapada Das, a devotee from Calcutta, offered to sponsor the carving and installation of the deity. Right. See, this goes all in process. Who is going to do the worship? Who is going to sponsor it? And then the further everything gets lined up. It seemed Lord Narasimha's appearance in ISKCON Mayapur would be a simple, straightforward. They thought that, okay, we'll have somebody carve the deity, we'll have it carved in such and such a time. This will be the amount which will be needed, and then it would be installed and finished. And then we are safe. But now, Lord, like it's not so easy to please the Lord, right? There are so many things which come. Then there were sketches to be drawn. that how the Lord's form should be there. And when, like, normally when they said that, okay, this was should be the form, but then somebody told them that, you know what, the sketches should be in such a way as if, you know, that if these dacoits, or if somebody who is doing something wrong is coming to Mayapur, the Lord is ready to pounce on him. Now, when you are ready to jump, just imagine yourself that you're ready to jump. Okay. Do you take a position 1, 2, 3, and then you jump, right? Just imagine that you are ready to jump. So the same way, the bend in the knees of the Lord, that also was designed in such a way that as if the Lord is ready to jump from his form. And this should be a ferocious form of the Lord. And then the sketch was made, which was of a Ugra Narsimha, that is a fierceful form of Lord Narsimha. Yes?
Also, I think there are 7 types of Ugra Narasimha, and
Yes,
I think so. And it was one of them, and they have specific names according to their positions.
Yes,
and this one was the one coming out of the pillar.
Out of the pillar, yes. Okay, now, so when this Prabhu left for his work, he thought like, okay, I'm going to go there. I will assign this work to someone, and then it will be done. Okay. And then when he went to Calcutta, by Krishna's mercy, he soon found a sthapati, that is a person who makes the deities. Okay. And he mentioned that he wanted to be carved as a Ugra Narsimha. And this person, see, when these people are, imagine, it's not an easy task to just take a stone and carve a deity out of it. The Lord has to manifest into the deity. It's only if the Lord wishes that he can be manifested into the deity form, right? So when this person heard about it, he said, Ugra Narsimha, he said that, no, I will not be able to make such a deity. Okay. And then when he, when such an answer was coming up from him, they were worried like what to do. And this Thapati who was there, he said, it so happened that he was trying to be convinced in some other ways that he had to make this. Then this Thapati, once what he did was, it took a week for him to sketch it. But at the same time, he wanted to ask the permission of his guru that can I, because Ugra Narsimha is not a simple deity form, right? So he said, can I make it? He asked his guru, okay, his guru from the Shankaracharya Mutt of Kanchipuram. He asked him that I am being asked to make a deity form like this. Can I make this? And once he got the permission from his guru, only then he said a yes to the ISKCON devotee who had come up, that yes, he will be making, he is ready to make the deity. But he said to make this deity, it is not that yes, I take up anything, any stone and I make it. I will have to, there is a specific stone which needs to be found, which is found at a specific place, and only then I can start making the deity form. And then this person who had come from Mayapur, he was very happy that, okay, somebody I've found, and he went back. Okay. Okay. So this was about the footnote.
Mataji?
Yes.
I think the I felt like the last one, like the last text in the last slide, I felt like that was like that was like from the transcript of the play.
Yeah, this is the story which is there on the site also, right? So from there it's taken. Okay.
Oh, that's why I wonder why is it like saying it's so similar?
Yes. Okay, so now when he started taking, it was again to find the stone itself, it took more than 6 months. I've not added all the details, but then to find the stone which was perfect to make the deity itself, it took him more than 6 months. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Now, the deity was getting formed, and then he the sculpture, what he did was he started making the deity, and then it took him a lot of time to complete his work. Now, once what happened, he made the deity form, and he had the deity carved, and it was kept in this, like, a thatched roof, his kutia. And then he had been out somewhere to his village, or he just went out somewhere after carving the deity. Now, what happened was that this place where he had the deity form of Lord Narasimha, it caught fire. Okay, though it was rainy season, though it was monsoon season, then too his whole that place caught fire. Okay, and when he came home and he found that this deity form, the place where he had kept, was caught on fire, he immediately contacted the ISKCON people and he said, your deity is ready and please take your deity back to your place. I cannot keep it anymore over here. Now, again, there were many, many steps where it had to be done. Like when the deity is made, then it had to be transported from one place to the another. And at that time, what they did was, see, if you can see over here, see, the eyes of the deities were tied up. Okay. And then the deity was kept into a big truck and then they tried to travel to Mayapur. Okay, Prabhu traveled enthusiastically to South India, hired a truck and half filled with sand. Now this is in his terms, so it's I arrived at the Sthapati's studio thinking that the final stage would be relatively simple. He had foolishly forgotten that Lord Narsimha Deva is very, very, very heavy personality. He weighed 1 ton. After 2 or 3 hours, he managed to put the deity safely into the cart. Now, to travel across Tamil Nadu state border, they had to pass the state borders, okay? And all the officers demanded to see the deity before the signing of the papers. Once they saw Lord Narasimha, they all became obliging and efficient. See, this is the mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, what happens, from one state to the another state, getting the challans and getting the papers crossed, papers passed is a very heavy task. At least in India, it is a very heavy task. But then, by the mercy of the Lord, it was all done. Okay. And then coming to Mayapur was pretty easy for it. Now, usually this Sthapati comes on the day of the installation ceremony, goes into the deity room and then carves the eyes. Now, see what happened over here. The eyes are carved at the end. Okay. But in this form of our deity, what had happened was the Sthapati had already carved the eyes of Narasimha. Okay. And that is also one reason that he felt that maybe because the eyes were carved initially, that is also one of the reason that his kutia caught fire, because now the Lord was present in his full form over there. So can you just imagine, like, I don't know how, when I read this story for the very first time, it was so amazing that, many of them, they, apart from ISKCON or apart from in other places, they do not take the deity form so seriously, or they do not take the form of the Lord so seriously in the idol form. But this is the best example of this. Okay. Okay. Am I on track of the time? I might just, okay. Yeah. So then the Netra, everybody knows the ceremony when the opening of the eyes is done for the deities. How many of them must have seen in the temples or the home deities? Netra Unmilal it is called, when the eyes of the Lord, first when the Lord, when any deity of the, whether it is Lord Narasimha or whether it is not in homes, but when it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when it is Nityananda Prabhu, when they are installed at home, their eyes are first tied, and then a ceremony is done of the opening of the eyes, and only then the further process of the installation starts. Okay, and then who is there over here? Mukund, can you read this for me, please? Are you there, Mukund? Okay, Shreyan, can you read this?
Mataji, I'm here.
Okay, Mataji, I can read it. But his Sthapati had already carved the eyes. He had also done the prana pratishtha, installing the life force, and worshipped the deity. I'm sure that is why all the papers were prepared so obligingly, and the transporting the Supreme Lord was so easy. The Lord was already present, and who would dare say no to Lord Narsimhadev? Of course, nobody.
Right? Very nice. I loved it when you added that. Of course, nobody. Shreyan. Okay, so this is how the Lord traveled from Calcutta to Mayapur. Okay, And then the installation of Lord Narsimhadev in Mayapur, it lasted for 3 days, and there was big program. And then they were like, there were yajnas which were done. And that way, the people in Mayapur, in the Chandrodaya Mandir, they were a lot satisfied now that Lord Narasimha is present in their dham. The problems which they had, or the fear which they had, that would soon be gone off, or they will not encounter any more such problems anymore. Okay. So this is how the Abhishek of the Lord is done. And many of time we have seen in the, I think in the Mayapur TV, right? When you see that the how the Lord is bathed, how the Lord is applied chandan, and how the Panchamrit Snana is done for the Lord. So this is all from our Mayapur Dham. And this is how Lord Narasimha came to Mayapur Dham.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yesterday I went to saw Sandata, and my dad even got to give Jagannathji a snan. Because when Mataji is an old friend of my dad, she literally pushed him to do it. And anyways, he was a pujari anyway at first.
Okay. So many places as of now, like Snani Yatra for Jagannath Rath Yatra is also being done. In India, on Akshay Tritiya day, what happens is they start preparing the Rath for the Rath Yatra. In Jagannath Puri, they start making the Rath Yatra, and it starts from the Akshay Tritiya. Akshay Tritiya was on the 3rd of May this year, right?
Yeah.
3rd of May. So that from that day onwards, they start forming the Rath. And then they'll be getting ready for the Rath Yatra around June, July, I guess. So everybody's got an idea of how, because there are, I think, 6 main temples of Lord Narasimha in, what is this? Okay, there are six temples, which are more precisely, and there are many other small temples which are there in India for Lord Narasimha's worship. Maybe in one of the classes we'll try to cover that as well. Anybody wants to share anything?
Mataji?
Yes.
I want to
have so many friends who already go to TKG.
Who are going to TKG?
They are already in TKG ever since like a long time. I'm a 12th grader. I think 6th, 7th grader.
In TKG?
Yeah. And
where are you located?
Huh?
Where are you located?
I'm located like inside of Lakewood, as 4 minutes from the temple.
Oh yeah, Radha is speaking. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to TKG before, like as a tour once.
Okay.
I went there for a day.
That's nice. You will love it.
Mataji, you know what, Mataji? So I heard this story. It's a really funny one, but it's about Krishna, where so it's where these people, they're worshipping. I don't know what the names are of the deities, but they're worshipping, and then one day, so they didn't find the deity stuff. So they searched everywhere and they did not find it. So one time, there is this devotee passing by, and then he was like from the local temple, like he was the pujari, I think, and he did not see the stuff. So he took a long break, and then now he came back. So he did not see the stuff. Because he was the one who stole it. He's actually the person who picked him was a thief, and since his plans never worked out, but priests did. So he picked him as the priest. So he was the one who stole it. So he really was really scared if he passes by and they really see the jewels and everything. So he took the route backward and went home and literally put the stuff back under his bed. But there was this insect there, and this insect dug a hole in the ground, and unfortunately, the place it dug it was a tube. So all the jewelry fell in that tube, and it somehow it got carried to another side, and literally the tube came to the temple side. So when they dig that place, the next day for water, they saw the jewels.
Mm-hmm. See, this is what I want you all to do. Like, see, you want to talk, like, you want to explain so much. You want to, whatever you have understood from any story. So when you're reading through this Back to Godhead magazine, which Srila Prabhupada had started, then you can, always record it and send it to us on the WhatsApp groups. Okay. So next time, now I'm going to wait for your videos to come up. If you have anything related to a topic, make a small video and your understanding or your experiences, you can share it on that. Okay. Okay. So because we have another 10 minutes, we'll start reading related to Narsimha Chaturdashi. Okay. Celebrating Sri Narasimha's amazing appearance. Okay. Yes, Isha. Can you start reading from here?
Yes, Mataji. So,
the highlighted part. The one which is highlighted, you can start reading that.
The major joyful occasion. Sri Narasimha Chaturdashi is one such major
occasion
of joy. It celebrates the descendant of the
primeval Lord Sri Vishnu.
To restore the turmoil created to Hiranyakashipu often referred to as a Rakshasa, a being for whom runs for
protection.
Hiranyakashipu
sought revenge
against his brother's slayer, the Almighty Bhagwan Vishnu himself.
Okay, thank you so much. Then Akshita, can you start reading? Akshita?
Yes, Mataji. From where?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hiranyakashipu obtained.
Hiranyakashipu obtained powerful boons from four-headed Sri Brahma, the architect? Or?
Yeah, architect in chief.
Okay, architect in chief of the universe by pleasing him with his severe tapas austerities. Those boons virtually eliminated any possibility of his death during a war with Vishnu. O Lord, if you are so inclined to bless me with benedictions, please bless me with these that I ask of you. May I not be killed with anything that is dry or wet, with water or fire, wood, an insect, rock, or wind. May I be not killed with any weapons, spear, or mountain, nor by men, devatas, asuras, rakshasas, or gandharvas, nor by kinnaras, yakshasas, vidyadharas, or serpents, nor by monkeys, deer, and other animals, or Durga, or similar divine mothers. Not inside or outside the house, nor by any other means of death.
Complete that paragraph.
By your grace, may there not be deaths for me in the day or in the night. All this is the boon I ask you for, O Lord of Lords. Narsimha Purana 40.5 to 9.
Thank you. Okay, Shreyan.
Blessed by Brahma, the invincible Rakshasa came upon a smart plan to take revenge on Sri Vishnu. Yajna, Vedic sacrifice, and Dharma, the Vedic way of life, are considered to be Vishnu's roots. Yajna and Dharma require Brahmanas, cows, and Vedas. Brahmanas, cows, the Vedas, and Varnashrama. The Vedic social system based on one's propensities, training, and stages of life. Destroying all these would destroy Yajna and Dharma. And Hiranyakashipu's arch enemy is Sri Vishnu.
Cool. Then Mukund.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, can you start reading this?
Yes, Mataji. Hiranyakashipu tormented the universe. Anyone who offered oblations to devatas through yajna or worshipped Sri Vishnu invited ultimately death at Hiranyakashipu's hands. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.2.9 to from 11 to 12, Hiranyakashipu tells his followers, Tasmin kute hitena sthe krita mole vanaspatau Vitapa eva shashyanti Vishnu prana divaukasa. When the root of a tree is cut and the tree falls down, its branches and twigs automatically dry up. Similarly, when I have killed this diplomatic Vishnu, the demigods for whom Lord Vishnu is the life and soul will lose the source of their life and wither away. Thank you, Auntie. Hare Krishna.
Ramachandra. Okay. Kavya.
Yes, Mataji. The basic principle of Brahminical culture is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. The personification of sacrificial and the shelter of all the demigods, the great pitas, and the people in general. When the Brahmanas are killed, no one will exist to encourage the Kshatriyas to perform yajnas, and thus the demigods not being appeased by yajna will automatically die.
So this was the plan of Hiranyakashipu, right? Rai Prahlad.
Immediately go wherever there is God protection for the cows and Brahmanas, and wherever the Vedas are studied. Studied in terms of the Varnashrama principles. Set fire to those places and cut from the roots the trees there which are the source of life. Thank you, Mataji.
Read this also. Keep reading, Rai Prahlad.
Hiranyakashipu created so much fear that Lord Shiva and the Devatas went to appease Bhagavan Vishnu and seek his protection. Lord Shiva successfully pleased Bhagavan Vishnu by changing his 100 names. Hiranyakashipu's end was now finally in sight.
Okay. Mokshit.
Yes, Mataji. But there was a problem. Brahmaji's boons to Hiranyakashipu were not easy to overcome. There were so many and so comprehensive that they virtually eliminated any possibility of killing this demon. See, Vishnu, whose energy manifests as multitudes of planets ever revolving without a millisecond of error, had to think of a solution. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, the amazing solution. Who is next to read? Kavya read, Akshita read, right? Radha?
Sita Priti Mataji.
Yes.
I mean, last class you said we were going to do a debate, and I forgot all about it last Monday, but I wanted to remind you about it.
Who is it?
Rai Prahalad.
Yes, Rai Prahlad. You know, but because this week we are celebrating Narsimha Chaturdashi, so we are having activities related to it. But I promise you, next week we will be doing the debate. Okay. I'm sorry about it. I just, because we had this coming up, so we had to do this. Okay, Rai Prahlad? We'll do it next week for sure. We'll do next week for sure. Balvinda, did you read it?
Your turn. On the.
Mataji, can I go at the last?
Yeah, your turn is last. Come. On the most. Read.
Everybody did not finish.
Yes, they finished. On the most.
On the most
auspicious
day of
Vaishak Shukla Paksha.
Vaishak Shukla Paksha.
Chaturdashi.
Chaturdashi, or the fourth day in the vacuum cycle of the moon in the Vedic month, or
Vaishak.
Vaishakya, may such a divine solution become manifested a
strange form
of Sri Vishnu, the center of the earth. Bhagavan Narsimha, half man and half lion, appeared from a pure pearl in royal palace of Hiranyakashipu. The Srimad Bhagavatam 7.817 describes.
Okay. Ramachandra, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, can you read this?
Sure, Mataji. To prove that the statement of his servant Prahlad Maharaj was substantial, in other words, to prove that the Supreme Lord is present everywhere, even within the pillar of an assembly hall, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, exhibited a wonderful form never before seen. The form was neither that of a man nor that of a lion. Thus, the Lord appeared in his wonderful form in the assembly hall. That stranger was Sri Vishnu, who had taken the form of Narsimha, half lion, half man, half lion. He killed a Rakshasa just as an eagle kills a monstrous snake, and he violated none of the boons of Brahmaji. Narsimhadev was neither a man nor an animal. The nails he used to tear apart the snake were not weapons. The time when Hiranyakashipu was annihilated was dusk, which is neither day or night, and he was killed on the threshold of the palace, neither outside nor inside.
Very good. Okay. Yeah. Ojasvi, and then we'll quickly stop, okay? Because I think Madhava is coming. Madhava group, when it starts, Mataji? 7:15? Yeah, Ojasvi, quickly. Yeah, you can start reading, Ojasvi.
Okay, Mataji. A tumultuous crowd of denizens from heaven sang praises to Bhagavan Narsimhadev. Hiranyakashipu sent Prahlad, a great devotee of the Lord, fell down at the Lord's feet and recited the stuti adulation. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Haraye Advuta Maya Brahmana Bharatmane O Lord, full of six offenses, O Supreme Person, O Supreme Soul, killer of all miseries, O Supreme Person in the form of a wonderful lion and man, please let me offer you my respectful obeisance unto you. Bhagavad Gita 7.10.10.
Thank you so much. So what we'll do is, I think the Madhava group will be soon there. Those who had raised hands, everybody has read, right? Those who had read hands. So what we'll do is, I'm going to share this again. Again, it depends upon you whether you want to completely read it. It's just another few more paragraphs which are left. Not per paragraph. I think we have come at the end over here. And then this is just the information about the temples which is there. So anybody who has raised hands has not read? Mukund, everybody's read? Who has raised hands? Who?
Mataji, rather did not read in next thing. There is this book about Nash. So it has many sections.
Shreyan, 1 second. Radha, did you read? Can you just complete this point, Radha?
Okay. Whenever and wherever there are peaceful, equipoise who are well behaved and decorated with all good qualities, that place and the dynasties there, even if condemned, are purified.
Bhagavad Gita 7.10.19.
Bhagavad Gita 7.10.19.
Okay, so I'm going to share this link into the group. I hope that everybody reads it, and then if you like, I'm not going to compulsion it now. If you feel like you want to become preachers in future, if you want to propagate Krishna consciousness, I would really love to see your videos, what you've understood from that, so that it can inspire other children also. Okay, so we'll end our call soon.
Mataji, can I share one thing?
Mataji, so I really wanted to say something really quick.
Yeah, one second.
I was not there for the Mother's Day, Mataji. Mataji, I was not there for the Mother's Day card where everybody was showing. So Mataji, can I show mine?
Yeah, but are we getting late for the Madhava group, Mataji?
Yeah, Mataji, yes.
Now we're
We
getting late.
will put it in the group, Mataji.
Please share in the group, whatever.
Mataji, can I just show one?
I have read your card. Please share it in the group,
Mataji, I will tell her. She will share in the group.
Yeah, okay, Mataji. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavarindra ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Join tomorrow. Bye-bye.